Hi everybody, welcome to Deep Well Talks of DeepakAcademy. As you all know, we have a lot of financial products available for our investments today. FD, bonds, debentures, shares, etc. But the prime concern or prime objective of many of the investors will be to get high returns. What is the option to get high returns? There is only one option. We have to take risk. So if somebody is not willing to take risk, there is an option for them also. They can invest into Government of India securities. They are the least risky investments which is available in India today. So if anybody is investing lesser than the rate which is given by the Government of India, unfortunately we have to say that they are making unnecessary loss. So my humble request to you is to check your portfolio whether any of your investments are yielding lesser returns than the Government of India rate. So if you want to get higher returns than the Government of India rate, we can have two types of risk. One is systematic risk. It affects the whole system. All the companies which you are investing may get affected because of these risk factors. The second one is unsystematic risk. It is more specific in nature. It affects only the companies which you are investing or the sectors which you are investing. So today I am going to talk about unsystematic risk and how it is affecting our investments. The returns of your investments depend on the profit of the company or institution which you have invested into. For making profits, the company has to go through a lot of systematic risk factors and unsystematic risk factors. Let's see some of the unsystematic risk factors. The first one is business risks. Some of the business risk factors are labor issues, entry of a new competitor into the market, shortage of raw materials, etc. The second one is financial risk. Some of the examples of financial risk are failure of outside investments by the company, payment due from a main customer, high interest burden due to high debt in the capital structure. All these are some of the examples. So if any of these risk factors affect them in a big way, their existence will be at risk. They will fall into the credit risk or default risk, and the investor may lose his investments. So for a normal ordinary investor, it is very difficult to assess whether the institution has successfully gone through all these business risk and financial risk and made profits. An easiest option for him is to track the price of the shares and track the interest rates of the bonds or fixed deposits. Let's first take the case of shares. If the organization makes profit, the price of the shares also goes up. And if the organization makes losses, the price of the shares goes down. It's simple and direct relationship. Now let's analyze the case of bonds or fixed deposit rates. For understanding this concept, let's assume two companies, A and B, doing the same business at the same place. B is a big, stable and more profitable organization than A. Let's consider both A and B are offering the same interest rates. Let's assume it as 6%. So all the people who think rationally and wisely will invest only in B because they know that B is more stable and has more repayment capacity. So if A has to get deposits, they have to increase the deposit rate to attract the depositors. Let's assume they have increased to 7%. Some of the investors get attracted, and if the deposits are not sufficient to meet their business requirements, they will have to again increase the rate. Let's assume they have increased the rates to 8%. So we are getting 2% additional interest than B when invested in A. So here we have to understand that the 2% additional interest is the reward for investing in A's weakness, or it's a reward for investing in the risk factors of A. People normally get attracted to high interest offerings, but we need to understand that the additional interest we get itself can be a cause for reducing the firm's profits and thereby repayment capacity in a competitive market. Let's consider both the firms are making 15% profits. B has interest obligation of 6%, so their profit after interest expense is 9%. A has interest obligation of 8%, so their profit after interest expense is 7%. So A has 2% less profits than B, which will definitely affect the repayment capacity of A. Even if A tries to bridge the gap through effective management strategies, they will have to go through a lot of managerial risk factors. So if the interest rates are increased and profits are decreased beyond a threshold level, the firm may end up in trouble and the investors may lose their money, which means each and every additional deposit rates has contributed to the weakening of the firm. So if your invested company alone shows a decrease in share price beyond a certain limit, and if your invested company alone shows an increase in deposit rates beyond a certain limit, you don't be happy, but you have to be careful and cautious because it's your hard-earned money. Now we have seen how unsystematic risk has affected our investments. Now let's see what we can do to manage or handle unsystematic risk in the next video. Thank you.